Easy to clean and designed for durability, at least that's what they say. But how does RevWood's Morena Bluffs actually hold up? Well, let's take a dive below the surface and find out. Morena Bluffs prides itself as a durable, American-made, carbon-negative product. It boasts protection against pet stains and moisture. And since it's a laminate, it should hold up against scratches and scuffs as well. But talk is cheap. Let's put those claims to the test. Now for our first test, we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to put Mohawk's sustainability claims to the test. Mohawk claims that every purchase plants a tree through their partnership with One Tree Planted. And we can actually confirm this thanks to a field trip we took last year. We actually went down to Atlanta and partnered with One Tree Planted. Here we are, getting our hands dirty, planting trees. Look, that's 11 purchases right there. Now we can safely say that Mohawk's sustainability claims are 100% accurate. Now on to the dent test. We dropped a wrench onto the surface of Morena Bluffs 5 times to see if it dented. We found that of the 5 times that it impacted the surface, one of those 5 times did cause a small dent. This is likely due to the angle of impact. When a heavy object is dropped onto flooring, the likelihood of denting is determined by the weight of the object and the angle of impact. However, this is still a very impressive performance. No laminate is completely dent-proof, but RevWood stood up very strong against a very heavy wrench. Most likely, if you were to drop a plate or glass onto these planks, there would be no or very minimal denting. Next, on to the scratch test. I took my house keys and tried to scratch up the planks. This is very excessive, way beyond the level of wear that typically occurs in your average home. Even in a busy home with kids and pets running around, you shouldn't reach this level of scratching. Despite this, there was no damage at all, no sign of any scratching on the surface of the planks. Now for the scuff test. Scuffing is a very common occurrence on most floors. If your kids are running around the home with shoes on, then on most floors you run the risk of scuffing up your planks. So I took the rubber sole of my shoe and deliberately tried to scuff up the planks. And with our past experiences with Mohawk in mind, it was no big surprise that we couldn't see any scuffing on the surface. Despite this, no floor is immune, so it's always a good idea to ensure that shoes are removed upon entry to your home. Now for our 2 highlights, stain and moisture. Let's go ahead and start with the moisture test. We placed a paper towel under the planks and poured water directly onto the seams before allowing it to sit for a few moments. We're testing to see if the planks will absorb moisture or if any will seep through the seams. This is very important to test, as not only does Morena Bluffs claim waterproofing, they also boast that they are steam mop safe, so it's critical to see if they truly are 100% waterproof. And in this case, they are. Not one drop of water made it through to the subfloor. It all stayed right on the surface thanks to their Wet Protect technology. It offers a waterproof surface, watertight joints, and a lifetime surface and subfloor warranty. So Morena Bluffs, it passes the moisture test with flying colors. And finally, get out of here now. And finally, on to the stain test. This is important if you have accident-prone animals running around your home. But in our case, we're testing the stain resistance a different way with the mother of all staining products, red wine. We poured the wine onto the surface and allowed it some time to soak into the planks. Then we took a simple paper towel and wiped everything up. Afterwards, it was no big surprise that no stains were left on the laminate surface. This is thanks to their all-pet stain protection, an industry-leading technology that covers all pets, all accidents, all the time. Plus, they boast a stain-proof warranty for the life of your floors. If your pet somehow manages to stain it, they'll replace it at no cost to you. Well, we hope you found this video helpful. If you did have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. We'll do our best to answer them, and be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for future product testing and product reviews. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.